So yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to start, like, would you mind just introducing yourself, like, in case people aren't sure who you are?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Beth, and yeah, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and I'm currently living in Canada on a working holiday visa.
And I wanted to know more about, like, why you wanted to move. So yeah, because you had a pretty good, like, stable life, right? So what made you want to move to Canada?
Yeah, I was working like full time and
Yeah.
living in the city and living like that kind of, I guess, like standard sort of life.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I liked the idea of being able to travel and work at the same time because sometimes I feel like, you can like work and then it's like so exciting to go on trips. But I was like, if I get the chance to kind of like put them together, yeah, I was like, I may as well take advantage of this while I'm able to get the visa.
And did you have a plan? Like, did you know where you were gonna go? Or were you...
Yeah. So when I got the visa, I got a job on like a ski resort. So I planned to like move and do my job there on the ski resort, but then I didn't have the plan for the rest of the 2 years that I got. I was like, I'll just figure it out when I'm there.
Okay, so you were like planning on staying for 2 years, but you weren't
Yeah.
sure like what exactly. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
pretty much.
And yeah, so how was working at a ski resort like? Because I know heaps of people want to do that. Is it like,
Yeah,
do you think it's overhyped, or is like it's worth it, or...
I honestly think it's worth it. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was like what I expected it to be. Like, everyone's kind of in the same boat. So, yeah, it was definitely like a good experience and a really fun experience too.
Was there anything that shocked you? Like, I know Canada's pretty similar, but like, what do you think are the biggest differences?
For me, it was like heaps of small things. So I remember when we got here, I thought the phone plans would be similar to like New Zealand and Australia, but they were so like expensive and just like things like that. Yeah, the phone plans is probably the biggest thing though, because I remember getting here and thinking like, oh, I'll just get like a really cheap plan and it'll be fine. And that was just not not the case. But yeah, just things like that, like small things.
Like, I guess besides friends and family, like, what do you miss most about Australia?
I miss the city because like I lived in Melbourne. I definitely miss
Yeah.
like the city, but then obviously with everything going on in the world, it's wouldn't be the same. But yeah, like, and I miss just Australians in general. Like, I just miss being around, being back home a bit. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, how have you found making friends? Have you met like Canadian friends, or is it mostly like other traveling people?
It's been a bit of both. So on the resort, like one thing when I moved to the resort, I thought it was all just going to be like a lot of international people, but there was a lot of Canadians working too. So it's been good. I've been able to kind of make friends, from around the world, but also from Canada as well. So yeah, I think especially when you move and go to a resort or something in like tourism, it's really easy to make friends because there's so many people who are in like the same boat.
And because I know you recently moved to Vancouver, so do you have any favorite spots or like places you'd recommend people go?
Yeah,
Like if they
yeah,
want to visit?
yeah, for sure. I feel like if you go to Vancouver, I feel like the main ones are definitely the ones to go to. Like Granville Island is really nice to like walk around, and Stanley Park. They're probably like my two favorites. But even just walking around like the seawall, like my partner and I like always ride our bikes around there. Like that's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool city.
Cool. Is there anything you don't like?
Like about living in Canada or like Vancouver?
Yeah, or Canada or Vancouver. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything.
I don't think so. I think like the cost of living is a bit higher than back in like Australia, so that makes it a bit. I mean, I guess I don't like that, but overall, there's nothing like particular where I'm like, oh, I don't like this. It's more just that some things are more expensive.
Right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I guess do you want to talk about your YouTube? Like, what made you want to start a YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I really just love filming and editing. Like, it's always been something that I've loved to do, kind of like a lot in my teenage years. And when I moved, I was like, oh, this is such a good opportunity to like share what I'm doing, regardless of whatever that is, if it's travel, if it's just being at home. And also, so like one part of it was definitely that, hey, I can like connect with people and show people that they can travel and they can do these things. But another part was also that just having that stuff to look back on as well. So I can look back on my travels too. So it was kind of like a combination of the two. And I feel like I'd been putting it off for a while. And then I was like, it's time to do it.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess, do you have any like who do you like to watch, or who are your favorite YouTubers?
Yeah. So my favorite YouTuber is like a Lauren Geraldo. She's like, she's like my go-to favorite. And then some small YouTubers as well. Lauren Jack is probably like my favorite like small YouTuber. But yeah, they're those two are my go-tos. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, this is kind of like more about traveling, but like, have you been able to travel to any places, or like where have you been? so far?
So I've lived in Australia and New Zealand growing up, and then like I've been to Singapore and been to the States, and then like lived in Canada. So they're like the main places that I've done like a lot of travel in. Yeah, so it's been good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I was kind of meaning like, on your working holiday, like, have you
Oh
been to any
yeah,
other cities or places?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So we've been able to so we started off in the Rocky Mountains and did
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
winter season there. So we're able to kind of travel around the Rockies a lot. And we did like a massive 2 or 3 month road trip through the States last year too. So we're able to travel
Oh,
all
yeah,
through
yeah.
there. And yeah, like since we've been in Vancouver, we've been able to go up to like Whistler and Vancouver Island. So we've been pretty lucky that we've been able to travel and go to like a bunch of places while we're here.
Cool. So, I guess, do you like know what you're gonna do in the future? Do you want to move to other cities, or like do you think you'll stay in Vancouver?
I definitely want to live in other places too. I like that. I kind of like living in different cities and then knowing them and having them as kind of like a base
Yeah.
and going like, oh, I can live somewhere else. And if I don't like it, I'll go back to Vancouver or go back to Melbourne. So I definitely do want to live in some other places as well.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, like I know you just hit 1,000 subscribers, so like, congrats.
Thank
That's
you.
really exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
like I'm on 900, so like I'm almost there. But
That's so close. You're gonna
yeah,
get
I
there
feel like
so close.
1K is like such a big milestone, like especially when you're just starting out. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it definitely.
But yeah, so I was wondering, like, do you have a process for making your videos? Like, do you write scripts or do you just like kind of ad lib it? Like, how do you go about making your
Yes.
videos?
So it's kind of like a bit of both. So for my
Yeah.
videos where I do, if I'm sitting down and talking about like how I moved to Canada or things I wish I knew and stuff like that, I won't write a script per se, but I'll kind of jot down sort of like my topics because I have a tendency to just ramble. So I'll kind of write down like things that I definitely want to say. Otherwise, if I'm just doing like a vlog or if I'm just doing like a Q&A or something like that, I'll just kind of read the questions when it's there. But yeah, I plan out kind of like the sit down ones where I definitely kind of want to get a specific point across, but otherwise I'll just turn on the camera and just film for the other ones. Yeah.
Cool, cool. You're kind of doing makeup videos now, so is that something you're like really into?
I started doing them because I kind of wanted to open up my channel a bit because I want my channel to be just travel because I feel like I'm not always traveling. So I kind of wanted to make it more of a platform where I can kind of show people that they can do different things and that we can always learn something new. So whether it be, like traveling overseas and going somewhere, or if it's, learning how to do makeup or trying out a photo shoot. I just kind of wanted it to be a bit more like, let's just figure it all out together. So that's kind of why I've been experimenting with some different type of videos.
Yeah, I guess, oh, this is going back to Melbourne, but like, do you have any favorite spots in Melbourne or things you'd recommend people
Favorite?
do? Or
Oh my God, I'm trying to
so how long
think.
did you live there? Like, are you from, like, were you born there or
Yeah, so I was born like 3 hours out of Melbourne and I grew
okay,
up there. So I moved
yeah.
to Melbourne when I was, I think maybe 19 or 18. So I lived there for like 3 or 4 years. I think like on and off with travel. Oh my God, I'm trying to like think of my favorite spot. I'm going like completely blank.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it's like when you're from a city, you don't think of like
I know.
good
And
spots
I'm
there.
like,
You just like,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm like thinking of things. I'm like, oh, I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like I'm just so used to like the city but yeah, I feel like anywhere in
Yeah.
Melbourne is good. It's just such a good city. I love it.
Because you talked about like working in Canada. So how have you found like the job situation? Like, is it easy or hard to find a job?
I think
Yeah.
like when I came and I was looking, like I worked in, I guess, services at like a mountain resort,
Yeah.
and kind of seasonal work, I think in the tourism industry is pretty easy to find. Well, it was like pre-COVID, I'm not entirely sure
Yeah.
now. But it's pretty easy, like they're always looking for seasonal stuff. So whether it be like on a resort or at like a tourism place sort of in the city, like luckily I found it pretty easy to find something. But also just being like open and knowing that, I'm on a working holiday visa, I might not get the kind of like the job of my dreams. I think there's like heaps of stuff available if you're kind of open to trying something. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that you like you've been to some like music festivals, right? So yeah, like what kind of music are you into, or like who's your favorite
This
artist?
question this question
Yeah.
gets me. My music taste is all over the place. So it goes from
Yeah.
like like alternative rock to like I'll listen to a lot of 50s and 60s, and then I'll be listening to pop and musicals. So I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit all over the place, but yeah, like my favorites will be like probably like the Beatles will be my ultimate favorite, and then it goes to like Ariana Grande, and then I don't know. It just goes all over the place a little bit, but yeah.
Cool. I like your posters in the background. Like, did you do those, or was it?
My partner did them. So he's a
Oh
graphic.
yeah.
He's like drawn all the stuff that's on the
Oh,
walls in
that's
here.
so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have like a little studio going on.
yeah, I've taken over. This is
That's
normally
cool.
like where he works. I'm like, I want to sit in here for the background.
Yeah, because I know you live like in an apartment, right? So was that different to Australia? Like,
yeah, I think like it's kind of similar, but it's just that our apartment is like a lot smaller, and I think especially in Vancouver, it's more expensive than living in Melbourne. So like we've definitely got
I have heard it's really expensive there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more.
I think I asked this. I don't know if I asked, but like, do you plan on staying there like long term, or are you wanting to do like other working holidays and stuff?
Yeah, I think I want to do like other working holidays. I definitely want to go back to Australia for a bit too. But yeah, I think like Vancouver's been nice, and I absolutely love this city. But I don't know. I think I'm ready for something new soon, for sure.
Because I was actually planning to go to Canada like this year.
Oh yeah.
But then like everyone's trips got cancelled. So
yeah.
But yeah. Do trips that you're planning like in the short term, like small trips or?
Not trips per se. We're thinking of like what we're gonna do over the winter.
So right, yeah.
Yeah, like
winter there. Like I forget.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're trying to like we're thinking we might go we might go to like another resort. So
right, yeah.
Kind of just been like planning like what we're gonna do for winter. We haven't really planned any like trips or anything. But
how do you go about finding like ski resort jobs? Because I think did you go through a company or did you apply yourself? Or?
Yeah, so when we moved over, we went through a company, and they kind of like helped us with our jobs. And then we stayed at the same mountain for 2 winters and a summer. So when we were there, we were able to kind of like renew our contracts and reapply. Yeah, so we didn't kind of like apply for any different ones. But I know a lot of people like once you're over here, if like you can kind of just like email the HR of that place, or you can like apply for the jobs online. Like it's pretty like simple when you're over here. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how have you found the food in Canada? Like, is it different or is it kind of the same?
I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's like drastically different or anything like that. I think the food in, oh my God, to be honest, I think the food in like New Zealand and Australia is a lot like fresher and nicer, if I'm being honest. But like the food over here is fine. Like it's not bad or anything like that. Yeah, it's pretty similar, I think.
It's probably like similar to American, I think.
Yeah, it's more like American kind of food.
Any food you miss, like that you haven't had in a while, or?
Yeah, he like shapes, like all just like packaged stuff from the grocery store, like shapes, and I miss like I know Australian Kit Kats and stuff like that, but like Vegemite every now and then, but just like the standard, I feel like that kind of stuff, but nothing like major, I guess. Yeah.
So do you guys like cook most of your own food, or do you go out? Like
we cook most of our food. We like maybe like once or twice a month we'll kind of like get something, or if we're on a trip or something, like we'll get some takeout. But yeah, we cook like pretty much all of our meals.
Right, cool. So so like what's your kind of, I guess, do you have a job at the moment, or are you kind of like focusing on YouTube?
Yeah,
like, what are you up to these days?
So I was working at a ski resort, and then obviously COVID hit, and like the resort closed, and I was just working on my YouTube for a bit, and then now I've started getting into doing like freelance admin work for companies. So I've just kind of been building that up and building YouTube up for the last like couple of months. So yeah, hoping to get that like really stable soon.
So I feel like YouTube videos has made me like a lot better at talking. Do you feel like you've become more confident from like making YouTube videos and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I think like for me, like I've always been like pretty introverted and shy. It's definitely helping. I think it's like a work in progress, but yeah, it helps so much making YouTube videos for sure.
Cool. So so how long have you got on your visa? Like, has it been extended, or is it just?
Not sure yet. So it expires at the end of November.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we're just waiting to hear back about like our options. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just kind of in this like waiting
Okay.
bubble where I'm like,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that because of like COVID, I think some people have gotten like extensions, like even for other countries and stuff.
Yeah, so
So
I'm just
yeah.
like, yeah, we're just waiting to see back if we go on to like a different type of visa or whatever. But yeah, just waiting. I'm like, hopefully we
Right.
find out.
Okay, cool. I guess just finally, do you have any advice to people that are like wanting to go to Canada, like on a working holiday?
Yeah, for sure. I would say if you have even like the slightest interest in doing it, to give it a go. Like I know maybe right now with everything in the world, it's not necessarily like possible or plausible, but even just like looking into it and researching, like I think, yeah, if you have any interest, just give it a go because it's definitely worth it for sure.
Right, yeah. So like just go for it basically.
Pretty much, like
Yeah.
just go for it. I feel like that's with
Yeah.
everything in life. I'm like, if you have interest in it, just give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because you'll regret more if you didn't do it than like
Yeah.
if you did. You can always go back home if you don't want, like if you don't like
That's
it
like
anyway.
that's my mentality. I've always
Yeah.
had the mindset that like as long as I have enough money to fly home if I, something goes wrong or if I'm done, I want to go
Yeah.
home, then you may as well like give it a go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time.
That's okay. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
I'll leave your links down below so people can follow you and stuff. I feel like
Awesome.
your channel's about to blow up, so
Oh
yeah,
my god.
remember me when you're famous. Remember me when you're famous.
Oh my god, you're gonna hit 1K so soon. I can feel it.
No. But yeah, yeah, hopefully. But yeah, thanks so much. I think is it like nighttime there or no?
Yeah, it's like 4:30, but it feels like night.
Okay.
So,
Sweet. Well,
yeah.
enjoy the
But
rest of your day.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, see you later.
See ya.